is Douglas Hamady here for another video for NobodyMotivation.com. Today I want to talk about how you can improve your ability to recall information. You can use this for many activities such as memorizing shopping lists. It could be delivering a keynote speech that you're worried about and you want to go use your recall opposed to using notes. It could be a simple thing as memorizing people's names when you're introduced to them. You know, the latter being something that I'm very much guilty of, and when I'm introduced to people all the time, normally it goes in through one ear then straight out the other. So being able to recall information is a very, very important skill to master. Okay, so I was taught this acronym to help you guys. It was to help me at the time to recall information, and the acronym was to think fast. Okay, so what do I mean by thinking fast? So take the F first of all, which is to forget. Forget what you know about that subject matter. Approach it through the mind of a child. Okay, really consume yourself in the literature or the subject matter that you want to master. Don't approach it with the coming from a position whereby you're trying to disprove the person who is the author of the subject you want to actually understand. Actually keep your mind open. So you have to pay attention without any intention, okay, which is a very hard thing to do, because sometimes, you know, you really want to show that you know more than the person that's teaching you something or the literature that you're reading, but you really need to pull that back, rein that back in, okay, and really let your mind be free and consume it through the mind of a child. Okay, it's very, very important. The next step is for you to be active. Okay, that's the letter A. Be active when you learn. I know when I was studying for exams, I used to constantly chew gum, and you always be chewing gum as I'm trying to recite things. And I was also taught that, you know, when you're learning, I was taught to do things in solitude by myself and just constantly recite and regurgitate the information. That's not really the right approach, I'll say. It has its place, but what I found through experience was I could pass the exams, but within 2-3 days after, I totally forgot what I memorized. So what I tend to do now is try and engage some of my other senses. You know, we've got the 5 senses, you know, see, sight, taste, touch, all of those types of things. So that when I'm actually revising any material, learning anything, I'm trying to keep myself active, keep myself moving. Okay, it gives you a better chance of actually retain that information, because you're assigning a physical action, okay, to a mental action. So it's 2 things you're doing to bring the information into your memory banks that will allow it to go to your long-term memory, not your short-term memory. Okay, the next one is, what is your mental state? That's S, which is for your state. How are you actually feeling at any given time? Are you emotionally troubled? You know, are you physically troubled? You know, and when you take a look at your current state, you also put that in the context of the situation. For example, if you've got a pending examination tomorrow that you know that you need to pass, that's going to trouble you. So I'll say do some relaxation techniques, control your breathing, do some mindfulness, inhale, exhale, all of those techniques, okay, to calm yourself down before you approach the subject matter, because failing to recognize the current state you're in has a direct impact on your ability to retain the information. Okay, and the last one is T, which is my most favorite one, and that is to teach whatever you have learnt. So when I try and learn new material, the first thing I try and do is write it down, and then I think about how would I be able to teach this to somebody that was younger than myself? How would I be able to teach this to a child? And the benefit of that approach is you learn twice. You'll have to learn the subject matter twice. Again, it reinforces your ability to retain that information in your head. So again, if you want to retain information, learn and master anything new, learn to think fast. That's me. I'm out.